12 minutes. Oh, we ain't 12 minutes in yet. But yeah, we got to understand what's going on, the goddamn spiritual concept and stuff, so you get yourself together. So what actual new moon represent? A new moon represent realization, a new way of feeling, a new way of reacting and responding. I don't know if we froze or not, and I don't know if it's just this stupid stuff. Is we froze? I'll make sure we ain't froze, because it was froze on my end. Because I'm about to go in 12 minutes. I'm about to go in. You know what I'm saying? Pardon me. I don't know if it's for. Oh, we saying we good? Oh, we good? All right. Well, I ain't about to pay attention to that then. That's just part of my cross. I mean, it's cross referencing to Wi-Fi. And matter of fact, let me move it over. That's part of what it's doing. Cause that's gonna be distracting. Get your ass. Just play regular. Don't distract me. I'm saying technology. Don't worry about technology, y'all. Don't worry about this technology. But yeah, check it out. So, what is a new moon? A new moon in its totality. It's a new way of reacting. It's a new way of responding. Also, when it comes to your moon energy, this is your ability to attract. So it's the people, places, and things that you attract. So a lot of times, what y'all don't understand, look at the sun like the plug, look at the moon like the socket. But I don't want to say what's more important, because they both work hand in hand. Hand in hand. You know what I'm saying? And you got to keep eyes on both. But don't let the right hand know what the left hand doing. So when it comes to a conjunction or opposition, that's when you know you may be having an argument, or you may be having some synchronicity, which ought to be like a conjunction, opposition, that'll be like an argument. Now, you understand this energy on a day-to-day basis, but that's just for your anemone aspect. But as above, so below, as within, so without. So when it comes into mama, the meaning, the wisdom behind it, that's the astrology and the point of reference, aka the time of the year or the time of the week or whatever the case may be. That's the father. So when you start to understand it from that aspect, right, you can't get too lost into your meaning of it due to the fact of the external meaning. Look at it like this. You may feel a certain way about a certain fruit on a tree. But just because how you feel, your anatomy, right, mama may not be feeling the same way. It may be going through a season where things start to deteriorate. Now, you may not be productive, so you ain't know how to shift things in order, harvest the right period of time, going into Libra, to the point that you will be comfortable to a certain degree. So the way you feel, you may over-exaggerate, spiritual mouth get bigger than your actual anatomy stomach, eat all the goddamn fruit. Then when it's harvest season and there ain't no more motherfucking fruit growing on the goddamn tree, it's cold and your motherfucking monkey ass is hungry. Now you got to be a motherfucking savage. Now, and you might have to go into nature and do some things to some strange shit that may not necessarily need to be going on your mouth or wear it on your motherfucking back. So if you're into a situation where you didn't understand your own anatomy, right, of how your own feeling could get the best of you, you ain't get that wisdom from mama, the nature of the astrology at that time, the meaning that we know that the season is getting ready to transition and the fruit ain't going to be so fruitful like it was the previous month. And you just so lost in the motherfucking flunky energy, you don't even know what father doing, aka astronomy, the time of the year that's always going to happen. So even if you ain't even trying to pay attention to the order father's trying to give you, it's going to be that same cycle, you doing the same thing, thinking you're going to get different results, aka next year, same time of year. You don't know what father doing, but it's that time of the year for the motherfucker, the fruit become rotten again. Yo ass ain't listening last time. Then you're retarded by mama. You still taking other motherfucker shit because you're eating too goddamn much and you ain't harvesting right. Then with your own anatomy, hopefully you even made it a few cycles. I say a lot of people don't even make it a few cycles without poisoning themselves, destroying themselves, driving themselves crazy. For mama and father even get them a chance to do what the fuck they gonna do again with their anatomy. Then your punk ass get spit back out again because your retarded ass ain't learned the first time. So next time may be a little harder, but just look at it like this. You in grade school and you flunked. So you gotta repeat a grade. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully you wasn't so much in your animalistic nature, you go back to a goddamn monkey. You go at a goddamn alligator or something. Because you couldn't get out your funk. You know what I'm saying? So other than that, when we start talking about the moon, anytime we are experiencing that conjunction in astronomy, in astrology, the sun and the moon in the same sign, and just, in general, the equilibrium of it, us facing the exact direction where the actual sun macro cloud get emitted in the first place. So, if we was having a solar, not a partial, but a full, where it's totally in the center eclipse, it'd be more dark for all of us completely dark and we was actually in that geographical location towards the east, having a partial solar eclipse, right? It won't be as much as a cloud as is your micro daytime when it's getting ready to rain, but it's daytime, but it seems like it's dark. So look at it kind of like that. You know what I'm saying? The further you away from something that's being emitted, especially on a large scale, it may emanate as color and spectrum, and it may even seem like what you're conceiving as or perceiving as light or spectrum or seeing, but you're truly not seeing outwardly. You're receiving an emanation, and that emanation is coming from an event. And when you look at it in that natural state like that, as just an event, you don't get lost in all the baggage that come with trying to study that event with the other stuff that may redirect you from what's actually going on within the event before we even start calling that the event light itself. Because that'll get us into faulty reasoning, into thinking that there's a light coming to light up an atmosphere. And then therefore, that takes things to the wrong basis if you wanted to add on intellectual property to it, such that we already been doing. But for the most part, when we look at it more as an event, just like it's getting ready to thunderstorm in your local area, then you understand light comes second, and take your belief out of it so you're not looking at it in a negative way, so you can have full unbiased on a perception of that. Then we can fully understand what's actually producing the sun. See what I'm saying? And that's the area we need to get in. So when we understand the true connection between our mind, atmosphere, and it condensing, becoming our blood flow in our actual body, the pseudoness and the spookiness can get out of it, but we also could get more of a hand on what's coming in and out of this existence. So you can even know why you here and you think the way you think, and another person next to you could be like, I'm back, and having to figure it out due to the fact of the situations that they're going through, and the situations themselves is the showing you what you have created previously and the ability that you have that you could get in and get out of, and not to look at that like it's something you were stifled in the first place. Now you're in some type of situation where you're able to astral travel timelines, pick up where you left off as a sound vibration or a reverb, and like cut off all the parts that you won't that you possibly have created now with the ability to do it, that you may be looking at your negative energies or your dislikes now, and have a more earlier stage to carve it out and look at the ones you're currently into not so bad to even know that it's not the end all and be all, and come up with some even colder shit. You know what I'm saying? And then where I'm taking y'all at is lacking words now. I can't even take y'all with words. But once you there, that I just brought you to the river, you start to put anything you start to add onto yourself, boom, you developing your own cup now. But you know it ain't pseudo what I'm talking about. We just ain't got no language for it around it yet until we start to develop it. We're in a new alien kind of consciousness. And eventually, no one's physical, because it's going to play out with the mental first. But eventually, it don't matter what age you is, all the way to the point you probably like be 10 years old. Your physical may not necessarily be suitable for that, the way the atmosphere is moving and things of that nature, which is what's birthing us. That's the womb. You know what I'm saying? So when we fucking up the womb, we fucking up our ability to think, and our ability to think is what's condensing and becoming our physical form that represent that. And if our ability to think is fucked up, our physical forms is fucked up. But if our ability to emanate the mentality, aka the way we think in the first place, is fucked up, our spirit, our nothing, within the atmosphere, our container, our mind, not being right, it actually condensed to things not being right. So for the most part, when we spiritually not right, the atmosphere not right, the environment not right. When we spiritually right, the atmosphere is right, the environment become right, regardless of what we have done. You know what I'm saying? The atmosphere take its own course in some way, shape, or form, and give us the idea itself to do that mental course like a river flow. Then it would condense and become some new water. It seemed like the current is stronger with water. It just seemed like we get more water from nowhere. Like if you pay attention to the 5 C's, it'll start seeming like it's more fluid for no reason and some shit like that. Then it'll start to produce as more spermacide going over underneath all the soils and stuff like that through every geographical location to replenish it the way it used to be. Then we'll start seeing a geographical location start moving in like that. The only thing that you will see that, let's say if the government is involved and they start to think things is negative because they got to use money towards, it'll even start seeming like not even when it's getting ready to go from summer to fall time, or fall to winter time, and you know how the cement and the tar, it always make you have to refix the streets and shit, like especially in New York. That might happen more rapidly even during the spring and summertime. It's like it'll be a conscious thing. Something happened with the water, that happened with the environment, that slowly but shortly, like a transition, it move opposite, or now I want to say opposite, just move in the flow of the water that may not necessarily be as structured as the streets. So you'll start to see the streets kind of crumble in a slow state, slowly starting to see it trying, or if anybody trying to fix it, match whatever atmosphere and river flow is doing now underneath all the soil in the ground that everything is already substantiated on the environment already. So it's kind of like that. And what's happening is that's the very thing you point to how people get better ideas. That is the thing. Like, there is no other way to get more intelligent. This is why they be like, even sometimes going into the shaman time, like, how they can just live without too much technology and stuff like that. But as far as this internal wisdom that you can't think is pseudo, where is it coming from? You got to blend these things together equally. It's not the case of having one or the other. It's more in the case of blending them equally, right? Understanding that's the real speculatism for the operative concept, not using the operative concept as this create some speculatism for something that may not necessarily be the natural thing in nature, and it may just be an idea of how to stimulate or accumulate money or something like that, which both of these qualities can be utilized, but without understanding nature, the land, the atmosphere, what is the point of you trying to figure out where you come from and you're within that? So thinking you coming from space out there is missing the fact of you're already in space, being crushed and condensed, being a walking alien in space right now. So I'm saying, and if you don't understand the womb is the atmosphere, strike one. And this might be another reason why we've been retarded for the past 300 to 400 years. That's the whole point. You might be a science lab person. Someone got your same studies, but they just pass you up in your curriculum. You have to look at what y'all doing behind closed doors. I guarantee that person carved out, the one that passed you up, carved out more times in their life not thinking about the science curriculum. This is what I tell y'all to get out of expectation, even when you're meditating and things of that nature. So you're clearing your mind, doing esoteric karate. That's your esoteric circle. You don't jump into your magic square until you start to ponder and add thoughts. So what do I mean by that? If you go into meditation with expectation and things of that nature, you're going into it with structure. You're not naked. So you're going in it with swords and shields and thoughts and feelings. But meditating is that time to clear out everything. So these energies without words is things you can duplicate and use it as an esoteric weapon that play out as an aura that no weapon forms against you shall prosper. That's just an allegory, but it's just superpowers. For an example, when you're meditating, you're clearing your thoughts and you're clearing away from thoughts and feelings. So as a spirit, you're naked. Every time you're aware, you develop another substance. Awareness is how we create the mind in the first place. The nothing creating awareness, that becomes the something. So your spirit, individual, solo, space, which is your soul. Spirit just means multiple, soul means singular, but it's your space, equilibrium. When you emit awareness, that's a substance. Now, since you're already alive with a mind and body, and these not dead, and you're not going through a transition, having the same ability, but creating a different mind and physical form to be able to do them same traits, right? It's almost like when you're looking at the first instant. Hold on, ooh, I don't want to miss my point because I want to stay on point too. I want to cling on to one thing. Yeah, so for the most part, you want to clear out esoteric karate. So when you're going in meditation, that means you're not going into no expectation. When you clear everything out, since you are already aware, you're going to be aware of you clearing things out. So that substance, let's just give it a word, clairvoyance. So it ain't got no colors to it. All these thoughts, yellow, blue, that can accumulate using logic for happiness and pleasure, blue, red, passion, you know what I'm saying? And they become you in your own darkness, and it's a narcissistic thing that's only good for you. You know what I'm saying? When it's clear and things of that nature, and you don't add no expectation, the clairvoyant substance, right, is you having clarity, and then it's substance. So when you jump back into your magic square, and then when you go out in the world, let's say you ain't even jumping in the magic square, you're just going out and interacting again, or participating to your gifts and talents. The clairvoyance play out as whenever you're going through situations that's an accumulation of something. Let's say it's dirty. You have goggles in that dirty water. So the clarity that you did in meditation play out as a substance in the third dimension as clairvoyance. And you're just able to see a situation. So it's hard to explain because it ain't no words for here. But I'm gonna do it the best way I can, so you don't think I'm pseudo, and I can tie it together, so it can be relatable. What you think I'm saying? Let's say you're getting ready to meditate, but you got an expectation. I want to think about this, and I want to think about me being in the best place ever. Okay, that's fine, but you're supposed to do that in the magic square spot. If you do that in a magic circle spot, just meditating. Here's the thing: when you go out in your situations, you also pull expectations. You pull certain things like lenses of what you expect something to come through, whether it's through a person, place, or thing. Even though it may be healthy, due to the fact that you're meditating and you're not harming nobody, you're still putting yourself with Lucifer, like the negative energy, limitations, not all possibilities, where things could come through multiple ways and you'll still be able to see it. So you might be still looking at good qualities as expectations, but it may be something that may be negative to your whole way of looking at something that may be something you have to go through, participate with. You're going to block yourself with, not able to see it, even if it was right in front of you. And if it will start to agitate you, you will find ways to get away from it, claiming in your mind justifications that it's the right thing to do because it's taking you off course. And that's probably the very same thing that will put you more on course. You see what I'm saying? So it's important where you jump into meditation, that's to clear everything before that you had on your mind. Almost to the point that you can even practice the anatomy ritual of it in its most pure state. Taking a shower or washing your ass in a bath. That's actually the real baptism. Well, at least how the natives look at it. So once you drain everything on your heart and your mind emotionally, even if you made a mistake yesterday, all that esoterically get trapped in that water you washing your ass in, and it goes down and drain with that. Now leave it there. The moment you walk throughout your day and you attach any of those thoughts that transmuted in the physical water that went down the drain, along with the dirt that was on your body, the more you jump in it, the more you even experience that emotion happen way faster of something taking you through a toxic situation that was already reoccurring because you had that emotional state already. So however it played out, whether you was getting cheated on or however the case may be, the moment you were supposed to let it go, and the day would have been much brighter, and you practice that duplication energy to the point that you fulfilled so much other shit at that time in your mind and your actions, when that pop back up, you're going to be mad at pop back up because you ain't got no time to be thinking about it. But when you don't do that, and let's say you were supposed to do the right baptism, this is what y'all do every day. Y'all wash your ass, but y'all mental bird ass ain't washed, so you still a swan. So then when you get out and walk your day, you still harboring around those same emotions you're supposed to let go, manifest the same scenario at your job or with your relationship or with your partner, and find yourself being in a more negative situation that you got more time to wash your ass. And then the more time you got to wash your ass, you may pick more time not to wash your ass because all that shit on your mind. Dirty mind end up manifesting as dirty body. Now you on the front door talking about, can you please let me in and shit like that? Look like you got the same socks and boxers and drawers on that you have for the last goddamn 19 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Look like everything, you just dirty at this point. You get it? So this is how you understand it as a synchronicity, so you don't think I'm pseudo, but at the same time, knowing that meditation is a time to clear thoughts and feelings, and that develop a substance because you are aware that you're cleaning things. So by you being alive, by default, you already developing substances. But once you do ones more close to God that lack most colors and stuff like that, boom, you get clairvoyant substance. That substance is a little closer to God. So any situation you're dealing with, godly people or negative people, you're able to see straight clearly through whatever mechanism that they're using because you're not of that world. You just jumped in it. So whether God use you as a vessel to, check that person or check yourself so you don't repeat those situations to remind you that you was currently or previously going through that. That's what only God is there for. So that's how you make your circumstance better and being more in tune with God and not jumping in everything due to the fact of an expectation, because everything ain't gonna come in front of you the way you expect it, especially if you got a small mind. If you got a small mind, You might only think things gonna come to you based upon the level of commercials you watched, your favorite songs, some advice some stupid ass person gave you next door or something like that. And then for the most part, level of their life goal, you probably need to compare and contrast it with that too. You might be more intelligent, more creative than them. And the advice that you given so much credence and importance to them got you only seeing things in your mind very small to only see expectations to the point it might be something God want to give you that you somewhere doubting, like I couldn't get that or whatever the case, due to the fact of taking the mind frame of somebody retarded because they live next door to you or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So it play out like that too. So just be in a situation where you're not jumping in things based off expectation, no matter if something comes to you and it look like it's in a complete opposite direction of what you was planning in your mind. And that's the whole good, deep, in-depth practice of meditating the natural way. You know what I'm saying? Well, I keep forgetting I ain't monetized.